So hello everyone, my name is Misha and welcome to my channel. So today I just wanted to do something very simple. I just ended up getting a Monstera Siltepecana, and the Monstera is definitely, I know it's an oversized pot, but it's definitely in need of a moss pole. So I looked around and I was able to find everything that I needed from times that I've done it before, so I figure why not, show you guys the way I do it. So what you're gonna need is a pipe, and I know that many times there's a lot of people that use bamboo sticks. I just sadly don't have them in my possession, but I do love to use bamboo sticks. But I have a pipe that I ended up cleaning up, and it's a 3/4 inch. Okay, perfect. And then I have the pipe cutters. I ended up finding my moss, which I ended up getting at Walmart, and it's called Floramat, and it was an 18 by 48 inch. I also have, of course, to wrap it up, a 22 gauge paddle wire, which I also ended up getting either at Walmart or Amazon.com, but it was very inexpensive, and I believe is about 150 yards, which will last me forever. And then of course I have cutters. I couldn't find any like scissors, which will be ideal. And then my alcohol, because I spray everything down since it's gonna go into my plant. So the first thing that I do, let me move everything over. But what I do is I get the planter. I kind of checked the height that I want the pole to be. Right now, because this is such a young plant, it's just a rooted cutting. I'm just gonna make it, I'm not gonna make it too high, because I can always use this for something else. So I'm gonna make it up to here, because I don't want it to overpower the plant. So let me see if I remember how to do this, because I know, let me see. I don't want to lose, there you go, because I don't want to lose where I actually have it. And to use the pipe cutters is like a no-brainer. Let me make sure I have it on the correct. Come on, get tight. Okay. Yep. So I'm pretty much making it about 2-3 inches below the top leaf. And since this is gonna be wrapped around, I really don't mind that. It would actually be too big for the plant. I believe this is something that my fiance ended up getting one day, and I already had one, but I tend to lose everything, so I figured, you know what, that's okay. I can have an extra one and enjoy it. Okay, so it's a little bigger than what I wanted, so I think I'm just gonna cut about, not much, about a 1/4 inch, because I really don't want that much of a difference. Perfect. So it is the height that I want, because you have to think that when you place it inside the soil, it's gonna, it's not gonna be all the way down to the bottom. So since I don't need the pipe nor the pipe cutter, I'm gonna put it down, and for now I'm gonna move the plant over. I'm hoping I have enough of this. When you use this, it kind of does come apart, it kind of does come apart, but I don't really care. The funny thing about this is that when you use the moss pole, there's a lot of it that it's not gonna need the moss in it. So really, in all reality, from here down, I'm not gonna need to add any moss to it. So let me go ahead and mark it exactly where I want it. I'm still looking at the marker here. I don't want to get up anymore. I'm tired. I had a heavy day. I didn't do much, but it's one of those days that even if you don't do much, it's like you're tired, you're exhausted from the week. Okay, so I marked it, and the moss is gonna go from that line up. So let me go ahead and measure for my cutting, because I always want to be able to wrap it up all the way around. The moss, you can see that it's double-sided here. So I'm gonna have a good size here. And what I love about the moss is that when you make it, you water it, you end up making it to the point where you know, it's gonna look really good for quite some time. So since I already know, let me cut it and I'll show you what I do. But right now, I'm just cutting the size that I want. The beauty with this particular one is that it has the little zigzag, and that to me makes it quite awesome because you cut in a straight line. And that's, you know, I know that it will be very aesthetically perfect, but I don't like that for every single thing I make. And all of these little pieces, they're coming off the moss pole. A lot of people complain about it, but I actually kind of like put it all together, because at the end, if there's any areas that look like they need to be filled in, I use that same exact moss and do it, and that way it's aesthetically perfect to where I want it. So I'm gonna just put that on the side. So pretty much what I do is, it's gonna be really easy. I have my mark, and all I do is I wrap it around, and then with the green wire, I'm gonna tie it up. So let me go ahead and make some cuts to make sure that, and I'm gonna do about 4, because all I want is to wrap it around, and they're about 10 inches. And what I love about this green wire when you're using that type of moss is that it kind of disappears there. That, and this is not gonna take very long, which is good. I might make a couple more off camera, and then I'm gonna make a smaller one, and I'll explain why in a minute. But right now, let me make sure I'm doing it in the correct line. I'm going around, making a full line. Hold the wires here. So what I do is I definitely squeeze it as much as I can. I squeeze it around, and I don't make a cut, because when they're that big, I don't like making a cut. And I kind of just squeeze it back into the moss. And I'll show you a close-up. It's going to be very hard to see, but I already made my first one and you can't really see it. But I'm gonna keep doing that. And at the end, I'll grab a really, really, really big one. And the plant is gonna grow so beautifully with this. And it's something so simple to do. So this first cuts, I'm pretty much just doing it to kind of keep them in place. Then after that, I grab a much larger piece that I'm gonna wrap all over. So far this is how it's looking, and on the top I wrap it around. So let's go ahead and do a very, very long one. I'm not even gonna tell you how big this is, it's just long. And what I do is I try to make it symmetrical. I'm gonna make it so that it's really nice and tight on the bottom. I kind of love twisting it. It's like the best way for me to do it. And then I go around, and then I go in a zigzag motion on the other way. Once I meet it, I do the turn over again, and then shove it in there. And I know this is like overkill when it comes to wrapping it, but I'm gonna do some more so that I can do the top. And I just feel like the tighter, the better aesthetically it looks. So that's just my personal preference. I know that there's some people that they just kind of do a few and they keep going, but to me, I like feeling like it's not going anywhere, which is not, but it just makes me happier that way. One of my quirky things, I guess. And so same thing, I'm almost done. And when I'm doing this, I'm doing it like really, really tight. Like to the point that my fingers are hurting. Okay, so the very last one, what I like to do is, because this looks so square on the top that I really don't like it, so I'm just gonna try to make it so that it closes that part. And it's not gonna ever look perfect. You always want to leave a bit of an opening sometimes so that you can either water your plants through there or whatnot, but I just like feeling like it's closed. There you go. So I have my little moss ball. And then what I do is I just kind of look around to see if there's any sort of area that I can add some moss so that all of these is not wasted. But it seems like in the area that it's going to be at, it doesn't really matter because it's the bottom. It did close up very good. There's just slightly there, which when I'm editing, so I might just put a little bit there. So I'm going to do two small cuts of the wire. And in the areas where the seam shows, I'll use that. I just added it there. I'm holding it down with my finger, and this is like the beauty about having this particular wire. So it covered the area, and that's pretty much it. And then I'm just gonna tie a little bit more, the same area. Perfect. And I held it quite well. So this is how my moss pole looks. It's nice and cute and tiny. And now the moment of truth. I'm gonna place it inside the pot. I did water the plant to make it just a little bit easier. So I'm gonna do it behind the plant. And I'm gonna be quite gentle because I don't want to hurt the plant. So I'm just kind of zigzagging it down. I'm pretty sure I'm all the way down to the bottom. And then what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna grab the plant, grab one of those green little strings, and just kind of wrap it around. So let me see how I wanted it. I mean, and you know what? I think this was an overkill, so I'm gonna cut another inch off. I'd rather for it to be, you know, bigger on the bottom than on the top. I think it would make things a lot easier for me if I do that. I have a lot of dirt in there. Because I don't want the pipe to show on the soil. I think that's not, it doesn't look okay. I'm gonna make such a mess. There we go. And all that soil, I'm definitely putting it back. Okay, so let's try this again. Oh, I'm much happier with that. So it's exactly where I want it. It's the moss is up to the dirt line, which is, let me show you. See, you can't see any of the pipe, which is that's what I was going for. And then another thing that I'm doing is I'm squeezing the dirt around the moss pole. I should have had gloves. But you know, I don't care. So sometimes, you know, that's what happens when you're dealing with plants. You're gonna get dirty. And then now I'm just gonna grab some little pieces of the wire. I don't think I need much. I honestly feel like 2 will be fine, but I'm gonna do 3 just in case. 3 cuts. They're flying all over the place. Okay, so let me see how I want it. Honestly, I thought at first that I was gonna wrap it around. I thought that's what I was gonna go for, but I'm not. Now that I'm looking at it and I see where the aerial roots are, I think I'm just gonna leave everything to show in the front. And I know that a lot of it is gonna blend. Let me see if that's really what I'm gonna go for. Maybe not. Let me see. But you know what? I'm having a hard time because in the front it would all blend in, and then around it just kind of looks funny because it's so small, such a small cutting. What would you do if you were me? I had this dilemma. No, everything in me is telling me to do it just in the front for now. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I really don't want it to make it look funny. Uh, I know everyone says wrap it around. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna wrap it around. Yeah, let's just wrap it around. If I'm not gonna wrap it really really hard, so if I change my mind or whatnot, I can easily do it. I just don't want to hurt the plant. So and I'm barely barely pushing this wire onto the plant because I don't want to do anything that could harm the plant. I don't know why anyone would do it in any harsh way anyway. Why would anyone do that to their plants? But there's funny people out there that, may not know everything that it's good for their plants. I know that I just recently have been just flooding my head with knowledge because I just definitely recently became so interested. I always loved plants, but I always believed that I killed everything I touched, and it would make me very sad. My very first plant was a lucky bamboo, and I even killed that. But now I have in my collection 149 plants indoors. Outdoors I have quite a few too, but outdoors I have been blessed to have the type of plants that I just kind of forget about and they still thrive. Inside is the challenge because I tend to overwater. My collection used to be just a bit larger. Probably with the ones outside, it's easy for me to say that I probably have close to, not really much, like maybe 180. But I killed altogether about 10 of them, which is not bad for a big collection. I just cannot do ferns. Like if you have a fern, like hide it from me because I'll kill it. I can't keep the house that humid. I love my AC. And I feel bad because I'm trying to rescue the very last one, but it's just not gonna happen. Okay, so I'm finished. I think I'm really happy with the way it looks. Wow. So okay, so I'm gonna show you a close-up, but for now this is, I just watered the plants, so it's pretty wet. So this is how it's looking like. And the reason why I didn't want to do it just in the front, it's because I really felt like it just kind of blends in. Right now I think this way it's gonna help the plant grow faster, but look at those leaves. I think that's beautiful. And this is my, of course, Monstera siltepecana. And I just got this. But it was just, it wasn't in soil, so I had to pot it up, um, and I think it looks amazing. So let's just hope. If you have any care tips, please let me know in the comments, because like I said, I just ended up getting this today, and I am, I think I know what I have to do. I think it's going to be great in bright and direct light, and to let it dry in between waterings. But if there's anything else you recommend, and of course I did the moss pole, but if there's anything else you recommend for this beautiful plant to just grow and be healthy and happy, let me know in the comments below. If you think that this is something, a type of video that would benefit a friend, please feel free to share it. and just spread the love. And I hope that it helped you, and that if you are thinking about, having a moss pole in a particular plant, realize that this is a very inexpensive way to do it. I think altogether the moss cost me, I want to say, less than $10, and then the wire itself less than 5, and you can make several. This is my second one, and I am very, very happy with it, and I definitely can make many more, because it's still, that roll is double-sided, so I still have plenty. I can probably make another easily 6 or 7. So just think about that, because sometimes you purchase one and it's what, $20. But anyway, thank you so much for staying with me and watching me doing this for my monstera. I hope that you enjoy watching, and until next time, bye.